mathematicians, it's Justin again. I'm here in sunny Miami visiting my old friend Mateo at his cafe. Mateo's super busy with the morning rush and he needs some help. He needs to measure out 9 quarts of milk to make café con leche, a delicious blend of coffee with milk and sugar, but his tools got mixed up and now he only has a measuring cup marked in cups. Without the right tools for quarts, he's not sure how to measure the milk accurately. He's asked us to figure out how many cups he'll need to measure 9 quarts. But I can't remember how many cups are in 1 quart, let alone 9. Fortunately, by the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to identify the different units we use to measure volume, like fluid ounces, cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. You'll also know how to switch between them using multiplication and division. Have your guided notes ready, and let's dive into measuring volume. Have you ever noticed the small numbers on a water bottle or a soda can? A standard can of soda contains 12 fluid ounces. Fluid ounces and all the other units we'll use today are measurements of volume. You might know that volume is the amount of space something takes up. Fluid ounces are the smallest unit of volume we'll study today, and you'll see them used on labels for a variety of liquids. For example, a reusable water bottle might hold 32 fluid ounces. A juice box might hold 8 fluid ounces, or a bottle of medicine might list its contents in fluid ounces for precise measurement. Fluid ounces are often used for amounts ranging from a single ounce to several dozen, depending on the container. Next, think about a coffee mug or a measuring cup in your kitchen. This is about 1 cup. 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup. So is a typical soda can more or less than 1 cup? You got it, 12 fluid ounces is more than 1 cup. Imagine you're making hot chocolate. The recipe says stir in 1 cup of milk. Can you just use any cup? No, you need a standard measuring cup because not all cups hold the same amount. A standard measuring cup is specifically designed to measure 8 fluid ounces accurately. Now let's look at pints. Think ice cream. A pint is what you often see when you grab a small container of ice cream. 16 fluid ounces equals 2 cups, which equals 1 pint. Next time you're scooping ice cream, notice that a pint container has enough for 2 big cups of deliciousness. What about quarts? A tall, narrow carton of milk or juice at the store is about 1 quart. 4 cups equals 2 pints, which equals 1 quart. Picture this. You're at a picnic and someone brings a quart of lemonade. If each person gets 1 cup, how many friends can you serve? Pause here to record your thinking in your guided notes. You got it. You can serve 1 cup of lemonade to 4 friends from the 1 quart pitcher. And finally, the biggest unit we'll study today, gallons. It's pretty common to find a gallon jug of milk or water. You might even have one in your fridge. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, which equals 8 pints, which equals 16 cups. A gallon jug holds enough for at least 16 cups of cereal. That's a lot of breakfast bowls. Speaking of breakfast, we need to use what we've learned to help Mateo at the cafe. Mateo needs 9 quarts of milk, but his measuring cup only shows cups. Remember, 1 quart equals 4 cups. So to convert quarts to cups, should we multiply or divide? Think back to what we learned about converting from larger units to smaller units in our previous lesson. If we divided 9 by 4, we'd get a little over 2 cups. But we know there are 4 cups in 1 quart. 9 quarts equaling just over 2 cups doesn't make sense. There are way more cups than that. Since we're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, we multiply. 9 quarts times 4 equals 36 cups. Mateo needs 36 cups of milk. Mateo also needs some help with the rest of his prep today. Before we get started with his recipes, pause and think about what we know about converting between units. What operation do we use when we convert from larger to smaller units? What about from smaller to larger units? Pause here to record your thinking in your guided notes. That's right. When converting from a larger unit to a smaller unit, we multiply. And when converting from a smaller unit to a larger unit, we divide. Keep that in mind as we help Matteo make his flan. Matteo's recipe for flan calls for 56 fluid ounces of milk. We know there are 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. So, how many cups are equal to 56 fluid ounces? Pause here to solve in your guided notes. To switch from a smaller unit to a larger unit, we divide. That's because we're figuring out how many equal groups of these smaller units fit into the larger unit. 56 fluid ounces divided by 8 equals 7 cups. So the recipe needs 7 cups of milk. The recipe also calls for 42 fluid ounces of sweetened condensed milk. How many cups is that? This conversion is a bit tricky because 42 doesn't divide evenly by 8. Pause here to see if you can figure it out in your guided notes. Here's how you could solve it. 42 divided by 8 equals 5 whole cups with a remainder of 2 fluid ounces. Remember, we can express remainders as fractions. So this would be 5 with a remainder of 2/8 because we're dividing by 8. 2/8 simplifies to 1/4. So 42 fluid ounces equals 5 1/4 cups. The recipe calls for 5 1/4 cups of sweetened condensed milk. Let's mix in the rest of the ingredients and get this flan baking. Ooh, Matteo is also making pastelitos, sweet, flaky pastries for the cafe. Yum! He needs 2 gallons of melted butter for the recipe, but the pot he uses to melt the butter is measured in pints. How many pints of butter does he need? Pause to calculate. We can approach this problem in 2 ways. First, we could do a double conversion by first converting gallons to quarts, then quarts to pints. There are 4 quarts in 1 gallon, so we multiply. 2 gallons times 4 quarts equals 8 quarts. Next, convert quarts to pints. Since 1 quart equals 2 pints, we multiply. 8 quarts times 2 equals 16 pints. We could also convert directly from gallons to pints. Since 1 gallon equals 8 pints, we multiply. 2 gallons times 8 pints equals 16 pints. Either way, we get the same amount and know that Matteo needs 16 pints of melted butter for the pastelitos. So, what did we learn today, besides the fact that measuring ingredients can be really helpful? Well, now you know that fluid ounces, cups, pints, quarts, and gallons are all units we use to measure volume. And you've practiced converting between these units using multiplication and division. You know to divide when converting a smaller unit to a bigger unit, and to multiply when converting a bigger unit to a smaller unit. These relationships make it easy to switch between units, no matter what you're measuring. Be sure to complete the practice questions and extension activities that go with this lesson to practice working with multiplication and division to convert between units of volume. And remember, mathematicians, in math, as in life, every effort adds to your success. I'll see you next time. Hey, hey.